Hello and welcome to another episode with me, Seema Pateel. In today's episode, we'll be talking all about your ideal client and your ideal client avatar. So, who is an ideal client? An ideal client is not someone who you enjoy working with the most. I mean, that is an important criteria. However, that alone doesn't suffice to make the person your ideal client. An ideal client is someone for whom you provide the most amazing transformation possible via your skills. So, anyone you can take from blah to an amazing wow brand, or any website which is like it was built in the 2000s, and you turn it into current and modern, elegant, minimalist, everything is okay, but current and modern, is the best person who your skills in terms of design and website design and graphic design is the most suited for. So the transformation is very important. Apart from you liking the person and you enjoying working with the person. So think about what kind of transformations can your design skills provide. If you can't describe your skills in terms of transformation, it becomes really hard when you try to use content to market yourself, because not everybody can understand design all that well. Your ideal client will definitely be able to see the difference between before and after working with you. However, knowing how you will express it in words is super important. So, a transformation that is as evident as possible, as clearly visible as possible, is an important criteria for identifying the kind of clients you want to work with to make them be your ideal client. In the same vein, a person who can benefit most from your transformation is your ideal client. I mean, I'm not denying that you can transform Marie Folio's brand. However, how much is she going to benefit from it, because she's already a very established brand in what she does? So if she's trying to grow if she's trying to pivot in a certain way, for example, if she stops B school and probably does something like Rachel Hollis, have a conference like the Rise conference, then her branding needs something wow worthy and something slightly different from B school. And that is probably where you can provide the most beneficial transformation for her. However, just a transformation doesn't matter if it's not going to benefit the client immensely. So don't just look at people whose brand is not great and just offer them your services. Yes, you are going to get clients that way. However, positioning yourself and the transformation that you provide is not going to be as effective or as eye popping as you are trying to make it in order to be an authority, in order to be considered an expert. This is what most of the designers make a mistake in. I can make your brand look amazing, elegant, and I can make your brand connect with the people and whatever not. But if you're not saying this to the right person, if you're not doing it for the person whose brand is not connecting with the people, then you're not providing a great transformation that is beneficial. When somebody, it doesn't matter what colors or what designs or what fonts the person is using, they're already able to connect with their audience effectively just because of their words, then all of the aesthetics don't actually provide benefit in any way. I mean, not everybody goes for the same things. So think about it. Yes, you want to provide this person who barely has something called a cohesive brand a transformation. But how will they benefit from it? If you can't express that, then again, your words will fail. Your social media posts are just there to fill up your feed, but they're not going to do the exact thing that you're aiming for. So this person who you call your ideal client must benefit the most with the transformation that you provide. Now that you've found the specific transformation and the specific benefits that you can provide for this person also has to meet specific criteria so that you become the medium to take them to the next level. So it's not your skills, it's not graphic design that should make them take their business to the next level. It should be you. So you are a part of your skill. The way you look at things, the way you approach, the way intuitive way that you approach your designs is what is going to actually move their business from a specific level. For example, someone who's just started getting a hold on their business, being able to consistently get clients, to someone who wants to grow, who wants to now stop working with anybody who approaches them, any referrals that come to them, to someone who is niched, someone who is an expert or someone who has specific requirements. So that indicates growth. That indicates there is a need to rebrand themselves. How can you take them through a journey to provide the transformation that'll benefit them to position themselves as this new expert that they want to be? They start at a specific place. They started at the place that they're no longer a beginner. They have clients coming in. They have consistent clients coming in through referrals. They have consistent inquiries coming through their website. You are in a great position to take this person from being here where it's mostly hit or a miss, that people approach them, the right kind of people are not approaching them, etc., and helping them attract the kind of clients that actually see their website, contact them. But when they contact them, they've already made up their mind that, yeah, this is the person I want to work with. So that's the transformation, and that's the level that you are going to take them through. And that is because of your experience and expertise and skills in design. It's not because you're great at business, it's just that you're so skilled in design that you intuitively understand what's the one, two, or five things which alone by itself can transform this business from where it is right now to the level that they want to move to. So, knowing all of these is actually what makes for an ideal client. Why would you need to pick an ideal client? Well, the very first thing is your content needs to speak to this person as if you are in their head, like you are living in there and you know all of their deep, dark secrets. For which you need to know who the person is so that you can actually research and learn about them and get to know them. Even if it's market research, you need to know who to talk to just so you can save your time and not end up on a bunch of calls which waste your time and don't get you anywhere after spending time. So, in order to meet such a person, you need to know who that person is. You have to identify and create a persona, an avatar that will tell you where to look for this person. That'll help you identify where to look for this person. So, in order to craft copy that'll attract this person, you need to get to know them. And for that, you need to define the persona or the avatar. Defining an avatar makes it easy for you to know where exactly this person hangs. And when you know where they hang, it's not always evident or it's not always easy. One of the places is Facebook groups. But to know exactly what kind of Facebook group your ideal client would hang out in, you need to know what kind of things they search for or what matters to them. For example, if your ideal client is also a mom, if they are in the range of, in the age range where they are trying to be at home and not just want to stay at home with their children but also run a business, and that is why they started a part-time business of photography, then you won't find this person always hanging out in the photography groups. You'll also find them in mom groups or business mom groups or any group named mompreneur, boss mom, etc. So, in order to get this kind of information, you need to identify who your ideal client is and know them and learn about them. And when you know and when you even get a slightest idea of who your ideal client is And when you find out where they hang, you get to learn more about them, get to know what's bothering them, what's ailing, what's working, how they celebrate things, how the kind of words that they use. All of this is great to be used in your copy to make them feel that you know them. And that's one very important thing that your content should do. Make them feel that you know them. So when you know them, you create the content, the blog posts that talk to their needs, their specific needs. When you create the content, the videos, for example, I understand you're struggling to get the kind of clients that you work. And that is why I thought I should help you identify how to get the clients that you love working with most. And if you're not sure who your ideal client is, it's going to be harder than it is right now, because let's face it, you have clients and you are not always enjoying working with them and you would like to change it, but you don't know where to start. And this episode is the place to help you get started. So, knowing where your clients hang out and identifying what their problems are is going to make it easy for you to create the kind of content that they'll consume. And that content is going to make them feel as if they know you, feel connected to you. And knowing you is important because know, like, trust. Like, after they know you, they decide whether they like you or not and whether they trust you or not. So, the first step is to attract them. And when you don't know what kind of words attract your ideal clients, you're going to have a hard time with all the content that you're creating. It's not going to stick. It's just going to be spaghetti on the wall, which is not sticking. So, in order to know the kind of content that you need to create, you need to know your niche, which I talked about in my previous episode. I'll link it to it here or in the description as well. So you need to know your niche and you need to know that person who is going to be the best to get the transformation that you provide and is going to benefit the most. So, knowing your ideal client avatar is important so that you can create the right kind of content, so that you know exactly where they hang out, so that you can research, you can ask them actually. Market research is very important, and to do market research, you need to know where they are. So, to know where they are, you need to know who they are. And in order to be able to understand what their strengths and weaknesses are, you should spend time with them. You should be able to have conversations with them. It's not enough that you go hang out in the Facebook groups. You have to pay attention, you have to respond, you have to make your presence known in that, hello, I'm listening to you, I see that you have this problem and I know how to solve this problem for you. Would you be interested in some help from me? All of that is going to happen only when you know exactly who you should talk to. Otherwise, you'd be spending hours together in Facebook groups or Instagram, scrolling through, reading all kinds of things, watching all of the cat videos and the memes, having fun, but getting no clients and getting no clients that enjoy working with you. Referrals are great. I like a good referral, but they don't always bring the best of the clients. They bring clients, they don't always bring the best of the clients. So to know who is the best of the clients, this is the way. How do you identify this ideal client persona, you ask? Don't worry, I got you covered. Well, again, there are a few questions and I have put a PDF with these questions down in the description below so you can go through it after you've finished the video, because you need the context. You need to know exactly how to answer the questions, and that's what we're going to cover next. First things first, figure out who is the person who is going to get the most benefit out of the offer that you have. It doesn't matter what your offer is. For each of the packages that you have, identify who is the person who's going to benefit the most. Like I gave in the example earlier, Marie Folio is a great client, probably. Like I said before, Marie Folio can be a great client for rebranding, but will she benefit from it? I don't think so. However, I could benefit more than Marie And that's because I have pivoted. I have moved from being a WordPress developer to a content marketing strategist, and my brand still stays the same. My website is still the same. So I could be benefiting a lot more from your service than the big names that you identify that you think would make such an amazing client. So, yes, there are some big names who could benefit from working with you, but you need to get specific and identify who those big names are. So, who is the person who's going to benefit most from each of your offers? And what is the benefit? Like, even if you say you can help wedding event planners, and you see that they all, wedding planners and party planners, but birthday parties for example, they both are event planners. However, who's going to benefit most from what you're going to provide? The kind of graphics, or the kind of websites, or even the skills from Show It, who's going to benefit the most? So it depends on benefits. So this is, you're going to identify each of your offers and list out all of the benefits for all of the people that you can narrow down in your niche into, and actually see if you've worked with someone who you actually enjoyed working with but did not make the most of. For example, a website redesign is great for business. However, if the person is not good at marketing, then they do not benefit the most. So providing them with a brand new website is a great idea, but they do not benefit if they don't know marketing. So who is the person who will benefit because they know marketing, or because they have a marketing team, or because they have hired a marketing professional to do the marketing for them? That person is probably better than the first option. Next is, you need to sit down and painstakingly make a list of all the benefits in detail. So you have to write it down. For example, like I said, a website redesign is great, but the benefits don't end at it'll attract more of your ideal clients, etc. It will not, in case if they don't market it, if they don't create content like blogs or podcasts, so that the website link is all over the internet. So that identify all those points. Like, I can design websites, I can develop websites, but how will it benefit? What is the really specific benefits that should help someone feel like I need this? So identify all of those. That's the second thing. The third thing is, what is the biggest problem that your ideal client avatar is facing with respect to your expertise? For example, again, someone who doesn't know marketing is not an ideal client, is a good client, I would say, for a website redesign. But if their biggest pain point is not that their website is not converting, if it is that they don't get traffic, then I think they should spend some time with a digital marketer before they come to you. Once they have identified how they can fix the loopholes that'll help them start marketing, start promoting their website, if they then come to you saying, I'm not able to convert, like I get so much traffic, I'm not able to convert the traffic into leads, or I get leads, but they're just not the right ones, then those are the people who have a problem that your expertise can solve with respect to website redesign. Or if it's someone who says, I have a lot of posts on Instagram, but I somehow don't get the right kind of engagement, and you see that their images are just not cutting it, then you offer them your retainer for Instagram graphic templates or something of that sort. And yes, you're solving their biggest problem, because the people who are on Instagram can convert into leads, and that's what you want. And you are going to tell them how to attract them using your graphics, how to use the content that they're creating, which is amazing. It has to be amazing in the first place. It cannot be sloppy copy and beautiful for graphics that'll uh, convert someone from an audience or a follower into a lead. There has to be great copy, and you have to make sure. So that is your ideal client when you want to sell your Canva templates or something of that sort. So identify what's the biggest problem with respect to your expertise. Now that you know who is going to benefit, what kind of benefit, and all of that, identify who's not going to benefit from you. In my previous examples, like I said, a rebrand works, a redesign works for someone who already has traffic which is not converting effectively. If there's no traffic, a website redesign doesn't work. So your ideal client is not someone who needs a website redesign. That's not the only criteria. Anybody who's ready to pay for my website package is not an ideal client. It's just a lead. A lead is great. If it's not your ideal client, you should refer them to somebody who is just starting out and who needs to figure out what their niche is. And yes, that's a scary thought that I just gave you, but that's a beneficial one. Working with someone who is not going to help you grow is not really beneficial. Next is make up a fictional client and write down what are the characteristics of this client. For example, it has to do with the person. They are able to speak your language, they are able to understand, they are comfortable being on phone calls because that's how you work, or they are comfortable being on Zoom calls because that's how you prefer working. They don't send too many emails, or they send most of the requests via email. Someone who knows how to use the internet and uh, how to edit on their website, because you're not providing website care, you're just redesigning. Or someone who knows how to use Canva if you're selling Canva templates, or is willing to learn how to use Canva and not saying that I can't learn a new thing, I don't want, can you, whatever. It depends on the kind of offer you have, but this person has to have specific characteristics. Someone who is eager to get started and stay eager because they love their business so much. Their business has a huge mission, or this person has a great vision that they just can't wait to bring to the world. So what are the specific characteristics that this person has? Please make a list of all of those because you will need it. You will thank me for it later. And when you have the list, list out the top 5 to 10 characteristics that are kind of non negotiable. Some things are just not something to be compromised on. So, what are those? Something that you absolutely need in your clients, like you're doing a redesign for a website client, and if they don't know anything about their website, if somebody else was totally doing it because they were very busy doing in person marketing or whatever, is that the kind of person that you want to work with? Do you think you can provide a great transformation in terms of their brand or the website if they don't even know about their website? So make a list of 5 to 10 non negotiables. It's important. It's just as important as knowing all of the characteristics, because if you know that these are non negotiables and you get tempted by the way they are talking and you assume, you ignore the red flags, you'll save yourself and you'll be very thankful that you actually made that kind of a list. Now that you know who this person is and what this person is not, find out where they hang out often. LinkedIn and Facebook groups are quite often a usual place. However, that's not the only place. Depending on who your ICA is, they may be hanging out at a different place. And it becomes easy once you know what this person thinks like or what this person is like, because then you have words to Google and you can look up keywords that'll help you, that'll take you directly to the place that they hang out at. If you have spent some time watching my episode on niching, I've told you exactly why it's important to know where they hang out, because that is when you learn more and more and more about them, so that you create content that actually is beneficial. It's not just fluff pieces, it's super valuable content. Now, the last thing is market research. And this time, go to the real world and identify 4 people who fit your ICA. All of the non negotiables are checked, and there are a lot of the ones that you're okay with being negotiable are also checked. So identify 4 people. Do your best, and this is exactly why you should know where they hang out, because when you spend some time, you will definitely find a few people who you will see that could be your ideal client. And the easiest way to know is if this person approached you tomorrow and said, I've seen you for the past few weeks and I need this particular thing done, would you be willing to do it? And you find yourself saying, yes, absolutely, for you, anything, even for free, and that's definitely your ideal client. So make sure that it's that kind of a person. It's not just who kind of fits the bill, it's the person who you're going to say, I'm ready to do this for you. Just to get an opportunity to work with, I'm ready to do this for you. But they should fit your ICA, all of the characters, non-negotiable characteristics, and a lot of the ones that you are okay compromising on. So go find those 4 people. You're going to really have to work on this because it's not always easy to tell, especially when you're doing this exercise of finding who your ideal client persona is for the first time. So take your time, spend time in the place where they hang out at. You will get those 4 people, and then you might actually want to ask them, offer them your services also. But there's a way to do it. You just shouldn't be going into their DMs and sending messages that I'm a graphic designer, I would like to redesign your social media graphics or whatever. That's not professional. I know that was a lot, but don't worry, there is a PDF in the description. Just go through it, download it, and come back to this episode and go through and work together, like work with the PDF in hand. Because now that you've listened to all of the explanation ones, it'll be easier when you sit down with the PDF. And once you're done with that, if you're feeling hesitant, I have something for that as well. It's hard to convince yourself to do something for the first time, and that is why I am going to talk about all the myths and mistakes that I have come across that may be bothering you as well. The very first thing is, what if I lose clients, or what if I don't find someone who fits my ideal client? Will I not get to work with the others? Well, that's a choice. If you are swamped with work already, you can afford to not take on work from anybody who's not your ideal client. It just makes sense because then you're making room for your ideal client instead of taking on any work that comes. But if you think that you don't want to just jump all in, you don't have projects for the next month, and you don't want to take risks, then by all means, make space for one ideal client in the next month and take on anybody else who you want to. For example, you have a big package, then make sure the big package is for anybody who comes and opts for it right now, and the second level package can be for your ideal client who fits for that package, an ideal client who fits in that package. If your all of your packages are for one set, then great. For now, for one specific package, whichever works best for you, with probably the one that consumes the least of your time, is the best place to take on anybody, and where some an offer that you want to promote more, that you want more clients for, you can have that be there specifically for your ICA, and that way you're not leaving clients on the table, you're not missing paying your bills. Now, if you're wondering, what if I don't like working with my ICA when I actually start working with them? Don't worry, this is not hard and fast, set in stone kind of thing. You're free to change it. Give it some time, and if you see that in the next 6 months you're just not able to enjoy working with your ideal client, the one that you thought would be the best, then definitely by all means go through this exercise again and find another, probably a need. You may need a change in niche, or you may just need to tweak the ideal client persona that you have created. So just change it. It's nothing set in stone. You are free to change it and when you need. However, make sure to give it at least 3 to 6 months, because that is how much time you need for something that you changed in your marketing to reflect in your leads and clients. Now, if you're wondering, what if I can't find my ideal client avatar in the real life? Like, I know who my ICA is, I've known for a while, and I haven't found. Then I am very confident you're not hanging out in the place where your ICA is hanging out. Because if you were, then you would have found few people for sure, easily, who you would love to help, because your ICA is, all of them are hanging out in that hub. So why don't you figure out if you're really um, in the place? And if you are, if by chance you are and you haven't, then the reason probably is that you're not spending enough time learning and knowing those people. You're probably lurking over there, reading some posts here and there, but you are not interacting with them. So go ahead. This is the hardest part. It's hard for me as well, but shed your inhibition and talk to people. When you interact with people, you actually get to know them, and you'll definitely find at least two people, if not all four. You will definitely find two people who fit your ideal client persona, and you're going to have a great start from there on. So stop lurking and start participating. That's a hard but simple advice. So if you found this video helpful, if you have figured out your ICA because of this video, I'd like to know. Please do drop a comment and tell me who your ideal client persona, what your ideal client persona looks like. If you want to, you can share your PDF as well with me. If you like this video, please do hit the like button and do subscribe, and hit the notification bell, because next episode is going to be about your offer. What kind of offers are actually going to work best for your niche and your ideal client avatar. I'm not going to tell you how to price and package it. That's not what it's going to be about. It's going to be about how to create the offer so that you can craft content that is going to help attract the ICA to you and get you better clients and better leads. So if you want to get notified about it, please do hit the notification icon, and I'll see you next time. Bye.